The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
We begin this morning with education news and a controversial policy about transgender students. The County Board of Education brought it up again last night in a heated discussion with the public that lasted more than 3 hours. In the end, board members decided to table the policy for the time being. Here's 17's Jenny Ha.
An empty room soon filled by supporters and opponents of a local parental notification policy. The Kern County community met yet again to debate the pros and cons of a gender disclosure policy, which would mandate schools to tell parents should their kids undergo any changes to their gender, gender identity, or gender expression, like switching pronouns.
Honestly, it terrifies me because I hate to see kids struggling. I hate to see kids have to shut down around their families. And I've been friends with a lot of these kids. They can't go home and be who they are.
Parental rights is supreme. I mean, parents have rights over their own children. Students' rights, when they're under 18, they really don't have rights in school. They're protected by their parents. The parents are the ones that are in control over their own children.
Tuesday night, a decision reached during the Kern County Superintendent of Schools Board of Education meeting to table further discussions on the policy until there's more clarity on the future of the Chino Valley Unified School District, or until new legislation specifically addressing this policy is introduced. The motion proposed by trustee Joe Marcano met with all eyes except from trustees Lori Cisneros and Mary Little, who have been leading local efforts in passing the policy.
I will fight till the last day to stand between my students and your hate.
Chino Valley, which was the first of 6 California school districts to pass a parental notification policy, is in the midst of a state lawsuit for it, as the policy allegedly breaks state privacy laws, equal protection clause, as well as education and government codes. A San Bernardino Superior Court judge issued a temporary restraining order against Chino Valley's policy just last week.
Chino Valley's already fighting that battle. Just wait and see how it plays out in the courts. Yeah. We have nothing to gain by doing something now.
Members of the board, again excluding Cisneros and Little, agreeing that enforcing such a policy is not in their jurisdiction. Here in Kern, the 46 school districts have their own boards, so whatever decision the County Board of Education makes on the policy, individual school boards can choose their own path forward. To which Cisneros countered, the board oversees 455 students from the county's community and court schools. She says Superintendent of Schools Dr. John Mendeburo confirmed this. Cisneros introduced the policy earlier this year, and she tells 17 News what's happening with Chino Valley doesn't discourage her.
I am not intimidated one bit by the lawsuit. I believe this is what's best for parents and students, so we're going to forge ahead.
The policy often considered a debate over student privacy and parental rights.
Parents do not need to know everything about their kids. If a kid wants their parents to know, the child will tell the parents. Give kids some privacy, let them be who they are.
Swanson says while the decision is not a permanent yes or no to the policy's future in Kern, it's at least temporary relief. Jenny Ha, 17 News.
And a family is now demanding answers after an inmate died while in custody of the Kern County Sheriff's Office. Family and friends held a vigil last night outside the Central Receiving Facility in downtown Bakersfield, where the inmate died early Sunday morning. Authorities have not released the inmate's name, but family members identify her as Irene Rivera. Deputies say an investigation is underway. This is the 8th inmate to die while in KCSO custody this year.
Now to your Court Watch, and today's highly anticipated sentencing hearing for Trezell and Jacqueline West will most likely be delayed. 17 News has found court records that show a motion was filed to postpone it. The couple faces life terms in prison. They were convicted on 5 charges in the case of their 2 adopted sons who went missing in 2020. A jury found the couple guilty of murder for one son and child cruelty for the other. The boys' bodies have not been found. A gag order is in effect, barring attorneys and court staff from speaking about this case or releasing documents. It is unclear who filed the motion, but we will be in court later today and bring you the latest developments in this case.
Meantime, a Bakersfield man found guilty of shooting and killing his business partner will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. A jury convicted Darnell Pierce for murdering Mubarak al-Najjar. It happened in a dark alley in southwest Bakersfield back in 2021. The jury also convicted Pierce on weapons offenses and resisting arrest. A judge yesterday sentenced him to 53 years to life in prison.
Making headlines around the state, it could soon cost more for a Cal-Sate education. The university board is expected to vote later today on a tuition hike.
Let us in! Let us in! Let us in!
Students rallied outside the board meeting in Long Beach yesterday. They say any increase would be a financial burden that could keep them out of school. The proposal is for a 6% tuition hike over the next 5 years. CSU leaders argue that tuition has been held flat for 11 of the last 12 years.
A tuition hike would place an additional burden on our already financially strained students. Many are juggling part-time jobs or full-time jobs, loans, and family responsibilities.
So while there is no easy time to raise tuition, there is a time when it becomes an undeniable imperative.
So here's how the tuition increase would break down. Right now, it's about $5,600, and by 2028, the final year of the hike, tuition will cost an extra $2,000. A Bakersfield man and 8 others are under arrest this morning in a human trafficking sting operation in Visalia. 41-year-old Andrew Randolph, who is allegedly from Bakersfield, has been charged with soliciting prostitution. Tulare County deputies say 6 women were rescued during this operation.
A convicted murderer from Kern County who was sentenced to death 40 years ago has died of natural causes. That's according to the State Corrections Department. Ronald L. Sanders, who was being housed at a state medical facility in the Bay Area, died at the age of 71. He was sentenced for murder back in 1982 and admitted to San Quentin's death row.
Making headlines around the nation, we are learning more this morning about a major move by Bakersfield Congressman and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. He has ordered an inquiry into impeaching President Biden. The GOP has led investigations into the president and his family for many months, and McCarthy says this is the next logical step. The impeachment issue comes as Congress has a lot of work to do. Here's NBC's Bree Jackson in Washington with the very latest.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy launching an impeachment inquiry into President Biden.
House Republicans have uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption.
As part of the probe, Republicans are seeking bank records and other documents from the president and his son, Hunter Biden. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries blasting the effort.
Extreme MAGA Republicans have launched an illegitimate impeachment inquiry that is a kangaroo court, fishing expedition, and conspiracy theater rolled into one.
The White House denies any wrongdoing by Mr. Biden and says GOP infighting forced Speaker McCarthy's hand.
This isn't based on anything substantive. It's based on the fact that he is being attacked from his right and he's throwing them red meat.
This comes as Congress faces a deadline to fund the federal government by September 30th. Some Republicans threaten to shut down if conditions, such as an impeachment inquiry and spending cuts, were not included.
No one is here interested in a pause in government funding. What we're interested in is taking the Biden boot off the neck of the American people.
I think this move by the Speaker is a move to focus on spending.
Congress must act fast to avoid a shutdown, the impeachment issue further complicating the matter. And some Democrats criticize the impeachment inquiry, accusing Republicans of seeking revenge for the 2 impeachments of Donald Trump. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Making news around the world, the devastation seems insurmountable in Libya this morning. More than 5,000 people are dead following a storm that brought massive flooding to the area. Officials say the death toll could exceed 10,000 people. To put that into perspective, that's more people than the population of Taft. The storm was so intense it caused 2 dams to burst, sending a wave of water into neighborhoods. Government officials say more than 30,000 people are now homeless due to the flooding. The International Red Cross is organizing humanitarian relief efforts.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.